So how do you turn this damn thing on? Make sure everything's working. Looks like it's working. Maybe. Okay. There's that. Okay, so we get someone who wants to chat the things up. Okay. Oh, I'm missing one thing, and that would be new artwork. So, not that it's great artwork, so hold on one second. Alright, so here I am. Let's see, is this thing streaming? Probably. Yeah, probably. Okay, flash drive. Alrighty then. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way the playtest went. We didn't finish a game, but that was kind of like the point, not to finish. I knew there would be a lot of work. The idea was to see what was interesting and what wasn't interesting, and there was a whole lot of good. But just to say things were good is not to say that it is a game worth keeping intact, because it is definitely not. These numbers and everything was just kind of thrown in there as placeholders. I knew there would be scoring. I knew that the gist of what I wanted, but all that was subject to change. And why finish the playtest? Because the playtest was just for me to get a feeling of the way things worked. And I really liked the feeling. Immediately, I felt one of the bad things. Oops. Can I get rid of that? Was how convoluted movement is, and how it kind of just broke the pace. And what I mean is, I just felt like jolted out of the game when I had to deal with movement. Now, even though it wasn't too bad, there was something there that just wasn't quite right as far as a feeling. Obviously, it wasn't right because, it's not a complete game, and everything in there was the numbers are all wrong. Those will all have to be adjusted as we get more of an idea of what the game actually is. Mechanisms need to be worked out, but one of the parts that really stuck out to me as bad was the movement. It just felt a little too wonky, and usually I don't care if something's wonky, but I think it would do the game a whole lot of good if I smoothed it out. So that's what we're going to work on first, and I think I've already fixed it, but I don't really know. Right now I'm just kind of sorting things. I probably should just go to an earlier state of save, but instead of that, I'm going to just move this along as I talk about the game. I'll put the new level cards here. the pace of the game felt wrong too, and all that. I'm gonna make some really broad strokes as far as changes, and those broad strokes are gonna overcompensate for the problem. So we're gonna have probably a game that moves extremely quickly now, instead of going extremely slowly as far as how many turns the game took. So we got to turn 3, the first part of turn 3 instead of the second part, because it was divided into the two. I don't know if that was, well, I kind of have a feeling that that was too long, or it was going to go, we weren't halfway. If the game worked like it did, then I would have wanted it to go, I would have wanted us to be about past halfway. But the game's going to change, so it might be irrelevant. We'll see. I didn't like the way the game scaled, but of course I had nothing, in the design part. There was, I was just messing with it. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is it was all just placeholders. So, of course, the scaling wasn't going to work. I'm okay with that. I just kind of, I just know that it's off. Like, what I mean by scaling is when we go from the different cards to the next set of cards, it didn't feel natural, and I didn't feel like there was a reason to switch from one company to another company. So if you think about like 18XX, you have trains that just aren't powerful enough. You need to keep buying trains, and I want your cards to feel like they're rusting out, like you're dealing with old technology. So the new cards that come in that you want to buy need to be better than your old cards. I could be wrong, because we really didn't play long enough for me to see, and it could be just my warped sense of what I think is going on, but I don't know. It's all placeholders, so it doesn't matter. So let's see. Right now I'm taking out the next era cards. I don't know why, but I am. I'm going to chop the game in half as far as length. Before we had basically six eras that were divided into two sections, so you basically had 12 rounds, so 6 times 2, so 12 rounds. I'm going to change that to 6 rounds, and that's way overcompensated. But maybe that'll get us to the style of game that this needs to be, or maybe that'll just get us closer into direction, because what I could do is lengthen some of those rounds and make them 2. So in other words, have like 2 round 1s and then 2 round 2s, and then it scales to 1 round per era instead of 2. I could just take a die off and get whatever number I want to as well. So I don't know why I have a die there. That's an example of, it was in the prototype, so I just kept using it. But since the die has 6 faces, and we're gonna do 6 eras, because what we could do is give a new level of stress in the game by giving the blocks an amount, a deadline, or basically a way for the blocks themselves to stop being in the game. And what we could do is we could put a die on a block, and the die facing, like when the block comes in, it is of the era that it is um, in. So like in other words, if it comes from era 1, we put a 1 die facing on it. Whenever that block scores, the die turns into a 2 and goes into it's a 6. Once it's a 6 and you go to score it, basically you remove the die and that block is no longer available for scoring. And this would be a majority type scoring, but this is just an idea. And I always say that, it'll make sense later. Go ahead and start deleting some of this shit. We just need an example of each, and then we can clone all we need. Also, I need to think about, total amount of pieces and figure out what the limit needs to be on those. Alright, I'm probably going to turn that into 1 card, which is either going to be expand, move, or load. The card will do one of any of that, and you can place it in your tableau. But there needs to be a disadvantage of having it, so I got to figure what that's going to be. Probably it'll cost you'll have negative points for using it. No, that's kind of weird. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Okay, so let's look at the movement system and what I want to do. I'm going to go here to Illustrator and open up something I was messing with. This queue system. Okay, so I'm going to give it a color just to say it's part of the base game. See how that has a shadow and the other one doesn't? I kind of like the shadow. Let's go ahead and put it on both. Cool. All I did there was grab it with the pointer plus tool to make the selection. If you have a regular plus pointer, the black pointer, and you grab an object, it grabs everything. If you have the pointer that has a white triangle on it, you can, since these are vector, you can move individual pieces. Each point can be moved. Control Z, 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 back where it's at. If you use the white triangle plus tool, you won't use, since this whole thing is grouped and I grab it, everything is grouped together. If I use pointer plus, I can grab individual pieces. So I grab that individual piece. Okay, and if I move it, see, that's what happens. If I move it and press the Alt key, that makes a copy. See, there's 2 copies because I grabbed it, pressed the Alt key, moved it, and then let go of the mouse, and then it made a copy and let it reside where I finished moving it. The other trick is, okay, so you grab it, you make a copy of it, and then you hit Shift. Shift makes it move directly up and down or diagonal in a straight line, so it's aligned correctly. So by holding Shift, I can bring this straight down, and it doesn't matter if I move back or forth, it'll keep it pretty straight. It'll keep it straight unless I go so far that it puts it on that angle that it comes down. So, I just slid it down, then let go, and now I've got a perfect copy. Okay, cool. Anyway, enough about Illustrator talk. Yeah, so I like this. I'm gonna save it. I'm doing save as. Save for the web. Turn it to a JPEG. save it on my desktop in the downloads folder. Because I'm basically mirroring another computer, I got my laptop next to me, and that is where I'm running Tabletop Simulator. So I'm gonna upload this to my Google Drive. So here's the art that I just saved, put it in Google Drive. Now I'm gonna go to my other computer that I'm playing on Tabletop Simulator with. I'm gonna hit the window key on it, and on that one I'm gonna go and download it. I have to do all this because my Tabletop Simulator for some reason doesn't work right on my desktop, so I'm having to do this other stuff on my laptop. Alright, so I'm gonna unlock these. I'm gonna copy this one and paste it. I'm gonna change the picture to what I just downloaded from the cloud. Alright, so there's the new art, and I'll talk about how this works in a moment. Let's see let me get the other art for the other piece that I'm working on. I should say these commands as I do them. You go back to there. Okay, so I drew some art earlier. I was playing with it here, so I'm selecting the tile. I'm Control C, Control N for a new window, Control V to paste. I don't want this. Control Shift. What is it? Control Shift Alt S to save for the web, something like that. Oh, I just saw something. I don't need this. So Control Shift is save as, I think. Control Shift Alt S is save for the web. Entitled, we'll just call this something. We'll call it tile set. I'll just put 1 on there. I'm really bad with names because my mind is somewhere else, so I don't think about much when I'm thinking about names. It gets me out of the control mindset. I mean the creative mindset. The creative mindset for me is free flowing, and it's even hard for me to stay in the mindset whenever I'm coming up with ideas and then talking on the mic. But it's even worse if I start trying to name things. If I have to come up with names, and it pulls me out of one part of my brain and puts me in another. So it makes me less creative to think of names. So I usually just punch random keys to put the names in there so I could stay in that creative mindset. It's just what works for me. I didn't save it in the cloud, not the Google Drive. So that's why my names all suck. Because I know this about me. The more I start doing stuff that for me feels analytical, the creative side of my brain feels less free to think about crazy ideas. And for me, I live in the crazy idea world. Crazy ideas are the shit. Alright, so now I'm gonna move that off. L to unlock. I'm gonna copy it, put this tile set away for now. I also have this thing about losing stuff. I don't want to worry. So in the creative mindset, I'm always making copies, moving copies to the side, never deleting the stuff because I don't want to lose it. And I don't want to have to worry about it either. Okay, so this is the new tile. Then let's talk about how it works, and then I can try to work this in. Okay, so now these trucks don't need a holding thing. I need to put on here that the truck is a 1 and then how much cargo space it has. So let's go ahead and bring that up. I did that in Illustrator. And that would be here. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to select with the plus tool. Give it some thickness. All about the thickness. This is going to be the 1-1, meaning it's a size 1 truck and it has 1 cargo space. We'll save that as a JPEG. Okay, so let me look at. Okay, here we have 5 spaces. I might only need 4 spaces. So let's try just 4, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 will be the only 2-space truck. No, I like it being 5. The problem is these cards. Well, it could go. Let me look at the cards. These seed cards. I like the. Okay, so 1 and 2. This could be a 1 and then this could be a 3. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and have the 2 bottom cards as 2 bottom vehicles doubles. The double vehicle has an advantage. Because the double vehicle, anybody would want the double vehicle. What's the downside of having the double vehicle? I guess we're going to have to figure that out. There definitely needs to be a double downside to that double vehicle. I might make that double vehicle one that has 2 storage spaces, is that one has to be a passenger. We'll see. I don't know. Now I've got my mind thinking about that. Let's not think about that. Okay, so 1-1. Then we'll have a 2-1. Again, save it as a JPEG. Oh, I don't like this. I forgot. I'll show you the example here. When I'm saving this, notice how it has this big white section around it. That is because the numbers are not outlined. So I'll turn it to outlines. Control-Shift-O. Save it. And then we'll replace that one. Okay. Then I'll Control-Z it so I can change this number to 2. So that's the 2-1. JPEG. Oops. I did not. Something's not right. Control-Shift-O. Control-Shift-O. Yep. Then save it. this has to be as exciting as watching the grass grow. The 3-1. Again, turn it to outlines. Should save it. I could make this automated, but by the time I finish making it automated, I could have just finished this whole job. I say job, finished all this artwork, so not gonna bother. We'll make a 4-2. Oops, not a 4-4. 4-2. Oops. Control Shift O. No. Control Shift Alto. What is the it's, let's see, it's object create outlines. I think it's under object. No, it's type. Create outlines, it's Shift O. Control Shift O. Control Shift O. That's what it is. Control A. Control Shift O. See me talking? I can just do that. Like Illustrator shortcuts are like a language that I know without thinking about it, and because I'm talking and trying to do this, it kind of throwing my brain in. Alright, so we got all those. I should have probably just done them all and then just changed the color, and that would have been faster. Like, what I mean is this number here, change that to faux, change that to 1, and we'll put that as a 3-1, change that to a 1, change that to a 1, that's a 1-1, 2-2. See, there we have all the art, and we'll change this to purple. And then we'll make the blue one blue, and then we'll go ahead and create it all outlines at once, and then we'll delete these, save that one, and I'll talk about adding one step. Okay, so whenever I'm saving these, it defaults to wanting to make it a JPEG. I Control Shift. I'm going to save this. See, it goes to JPEG here in the top corner. I'm picking, it goes to GIF, and I don't want a GIF. I want a JPEG, so I changed it to a JPEG. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And what that does now, because I did that once, its default now is going to be JPEG that's in the file. So now, let's see, I'm going to do the blue one next. The blue 2. Now when I save as, it's going to save me that one step every time. Now it already says JPEG. Control Z, I don't have to Control Shift Z, go back to here. To Sri. Again, this is all just watching the grass grow. Not exciting at all. It's not exciting for me either, but it has to get done. So like I said, the second number is the capacity for what it can carry. I'll show you what I did, which makes it more in line with the classic way people would do pickup and delivery, by doing it on the object itself. Like if you have a tile and you put the good on the tile and you move the tile, and then the good's moving with it, so there's no abstract, it's pretty literal in what you're doing. It's not abstract. It's only abstract in the sense that it represents a truck, but other than that, you have a piece on the tile and you're moving the tile and the piece is moving with it. I'm considering one of the reasons I'm not doing that is to make it have a smaller footprint. Also, I guess I want to do something different. And I'm also looking at the constraints of what I can purchase if I have to make this game myself. And at Game Crafters, I have to look at what's available to me. Not because I don't have like a budget to just do anything. And I've got to stay. I don't want to have them do custom pieces at Game Crafters. I'd rather work with what they already offer, and they just use their little templates and make the game. Okay. There's that. Oops. We need to upload it all. Upload file. We'll upload there to there. Uploading back to hell. Now we're going to download all these. Unfortunately, we have to do it one at a time, otherwise it puts them in the zip and I have to deal with that crap. You know, for the convenience of these automatic tasks like that, they make my life live in hell. It's much easier in the day when this is boomer talk, when applications didn't do anything extra. They just did what you asked. Like if I wanted to download all of these, it would just separate them. It wouldn't automatically put them in a zip and download it as one thing. I'm a damn boomer. Back in my day. Alright. Okay, so we'll get this one. It's a purple one. We may get the purple one. Cloud. Upload. I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to do a few. Yeah, see? Just to go through and play with what I'm thinking. Three, one. Upload. Oops. We'll do this one, and the 4, and then we'll do the red 1 and 2, and we'll play with those. Custom. This is the red 2. It's the 2, 1 now. This one is the 1, 1 now. This is a 4, 2. This one's a 2, 1 blue. And here is a 1, 1 blue. Alright, so we've got these pieces. Okay, so let's say a good is here. I'm going to lock that down. And here. And here. Okay. Oops. Let me actually randomize these. It doesn't matter for the example, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so the goods are here. Actually, let me copy that and paste that. We'll move that there, and then we'll move that there. And we'll move that there. Or actually, we could do blocks like that. We'll just line them up like that. Okay, so the space underneath is where the trucks go. The trucks will actually line up with a box. So this means the 2, 1 truck is lined up for that box. The 1, 1 truck is lined up for that box. the 4-2 is lined up for that box. Okay, when we actually get a piece, the way that I want to do it is that, let's think this out. The gray cube, a load is done, so it goes to there. That is load. Okay. If there's a truck here, it automatically picks it up. It goes to the choice of the person who played the load card. So let me see how that's going to work. It's not in this set of cards. It'll be in this set of cards. Let me put this. Oh, well. Load. So in this case, purple played the load card. Load takes it from on that side of the road to this side of the road. Load. Okay, it goes to a truck. When it's here, when you take it to load, it goes to a truck. It goes to the truck of the choosing of the person who played the load card. So I played the load card. It would go towards my choosing. Actually, would have to go to. Oh man, now I'm wondering about the color of the. Does there need to be colors on the load cards? Because you're not loading it onto, in this version, let me see. This shows that it's a purple load. Before, let me look at these. Before the trucks were here, and then a truck that's here could put load. And then that load would go to the truck. Okay, in this case, you push load, it goes to the loading area, and it's automatically picked up by a truck in this area. Let me think. We could do it like that, or we could do it like. We could go back to the way it was, and when you put load, it goes underneath the truck. Or we could have some new thing where we can automate a tile. So the question is on a purple load. With purple load, if I play purple load, it could be just a gray load card that would do the same thing. Gray load card could load it to one of these areas, and it would not be color associated. Otherwise, the purple load card goes with, if I have a purple truck and I'm going to load, then I'll put it underneath the purple truck because I'm loading for purple. If I had a gray load card, just to see, let me look at the alternative here. If I had a gray load card, it would be in here, and I could load would be putting it into the, yeah, unfortunately I think these need to be truck spaces, because these trucks will go here. Oops. Okay, so those trucks would go there, and then play the load card. If I played the gray one, it would just go underneath. Then if somebody played the move card and moved the truck to the queue, they would automatically get paid. So let's say we both played the move card. We both played the red move card, and I get turn order, I move it there, I make the money. So then we make turn order matter a crap ton. If there was a company turn order first, I don't like that. It's much easier just being in my head. It's much easier just going player order first. So player order goes first. Player decides. We don't need these then. Lock. We'll go back to the original ones. Truck goes here. Truck goes there. Truck goes here. And the truck says, I say load. I find the corresponding color. I load it underneath. Now, the truck, whoever played the load card first in turn order would go to the queue. Whoever did it gets paid. So for that reason, they would want to turn order matters and turn order goes first. See, right now the difficulty that I'm having is if we both play the move card, the person who's first in turn order will jump ahead and snipe the area and gain the point. So it's whoever's the turn order matters because they'll always beat the other player. So turn order and I don't think it's cool that if we both played the move card that you moved it over there, you get the points and I share in the points because I made a move card as well. So if we both play the move card, turn order should get it. That discourages us from playing the same color or always fighting for turn order. Which means one of these, let's say the one with 2 cars, needs to go back to turn order. One of these is turn order. Used to be. At one point. There's the car. I thought it was. If it's not, I'm going to make it. Alright, so we got to make the turn order one. So now we have to fight for turn order for that. So I need to find a reason. So as a placeholder, I'll need to come up with a reason to make turn order good to be last. There has to be an advantage to balance out, or I think there should be an advantage to balance out the first turn order problem. I'm not seeing it here, so yeah, I'm going to have to make it. Let's see if I can find the original art. Maybe there? That looks, nope. Got all these open files. Those are the alternative cards that I had to change because I changed the artwork on the seed card. There's the alternate of the artwork for the other cars. There's the where I made the cars. There's a block. Yeah, I wouldn't have this problem if I. There we go. Went back and color. Put names on things. Okay, so there is that. One of these cards has turn order in it. Just not one of those. It's not there. There's the seed card, so let's just open them. I think the artwork is in here. There it is. So now we made turn order matter a fudge ton. A fudge metric ton. I'm usually I would care. Oop. Yeah, usually I would care a lot about centering things and all that good stuff, but I'm not going to in this one because everything's subject to change. Why spend so much time if I'm just going to change and tinker with it? Upload file, upload the turn order card, go to the other computer, upload file, oh no, download file, it should be here somewhere. Just uploaded it. There it is. Download. Take this car one out because I don't really have a thing for it yet. Instead of that, let's make a. Now I've got a copy over there. Cool. Custom. Upload. Turn it off. Cloud. Upload. Import. Cancel. Cool. Okay, so now we have a way to do turn order, change turn order there. Okay. Back to thinking about this problem. If we have the 4-2, and let's say it picks up, give it a lag issue here, lock that down, it picks up, move this junk over, lock, those aren't stackable. Just setting that over there for now. Okay. So let's say the truck is there. I did a load, which means I take it from here, put it underneath the truck. Then the truck wants to do a move. So we play a move card, and the truck wants to move over here so that it can pick up that good. I don't think it's too weird to move the truck and the good. So like, let's say I'm moving, let me put another purple piece. I'll put the purple one. Okay. So let's say I put, and I will put the purple 2 here. I had a load of 2. And I decided I want to load 1 here, 1 here. And then let's say I had a move. Then I would move, if I move over here, I'll move this out of the queue. If I move over here to the queue, it would automatically sell. To the player who moved it. And let's say I had another move and I wanted to move this there. Okay, that's good. I think I'm okay, or actually we wanted to move it there. Okay, then we did another load. Then we did another move. Which would be, get these. When we make the move to there, we sell these 2. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, so this load space on these trucks don't matter anymore. The load space on the trucks, we're not going to put things. We're only putting them over here. Player pieces that go here only count for majorities. Once the truck's out here, this isn't going to matter. That just shows when the truck is available. A player can put their pieces in there. Okay. So yeah, the way it's going to work is, let me also make that A2 spot, piece 2. If we're going to make a load cell space, or a queue, let me look at the queue thing. I think that was, huh? Nope. 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 Yep. Let's see. Let me congratulate a friend. Well, not a friend, a partner. The partner, Sarah. It's so fucked up that I said friend. That's the kind of shit that can get you in trouble. Okay, let's see. Oh, I want to do the queue space. I think I have a copy of the queue space. Yeah, I don't think I ever did artwork for it. We'll just call it the queue. We got, it's called the queue and the jam. So let's just make a piece for it. We'll call it the queue jam. Yeah, we'll call it the queue jam. We're gonna make something called the queue jam. Queue jam. Later on I'll do more as far as typography, you know, kind of squeeze it to make it look fun, but it's not supposed to be fun right now. And we'll do we need to do 2-color to show the 2-color representation. So I'm going to make a copy of this, put it to the front, knock the back out of it, boom. So this is like a half moon. That'll be half the green color. And this one, oops, not the jam part. This color will be that, this will be not the green, the blue part. Let's go ahead and turn those letters into outlines. Let's go with that there. Let's take the outline off of those. Let's get this. We made a copy of it. We're going to take the color off the front side, and we're going to add an outline to the whole thing. The Q Jam. Nice. The Q Jam. That's right, brother. The Q Jam. I'll show you how this piece is going to work. This is the Q Jam piece. It works like all of the Q Jam pieces. Upload it. Not download. We need to upload. Upload file. QJam, bro. QJam, bro. Back to hell. Other computer. Upload file. Oh, not upload. We need to download the QJam piece. Download. Get one of these. Time to make the QJam. I'm gonna QJam it on both sides. There's a QJam piece. Let's make the QJam piece bigger. Yeah, buddy. QJam. Okay. So the QJam. This is just to remind us when we deal with the QJam. So this is probably impractical. We have 3. So in this round we're in the teal. So we'll put the QJam here or here. I'll do this better later, and here. That's just to remind players that we'll deal with the QJam at the end of both of those rounds, A2 and A3. I'll do this more better later. So we'll go here and here. Okay. When we get here, we know that there's going to be a QJam. So the way it works is for movement. When I've got a piece here, I load it, goes here. If it's empty, I know because it's not here. I say movement. I play my movement card. Then it goes to the first part of the queue that's active, or it'll go to the jam. So it goes to the queue. Another one goes to the queue. Let's say this one went to the queue. And then this is a 3, so an error 3, this will open up. So right now, if this one were to go to the queue, it can't go to the queue, it would go to the jam. That's if we had a movement and we're trying to get it to the queue jam. Okay, so the way it works is I play the move card, I'm sending cards to the queue jam, I send the 1. The 1 had a cube, I sell the cube, make my points. Let's say if I was moving the 2, it has none. So that player would get a worker. And give them a worker. Bam. This is sold. If, let's say this car was going to move and it had a piece, wouldn't matter. Say it's going to move here. It can't go to the queue, so it goes to the jam. Then this sells immediately. Although the car's not coming back for some time, so they get $2 or whatever. Okay, so let's say it's the end of the round and it's the QJam part. We do the QJam. I guess we could add this to, we'll figure that out. So we do the QJam, which means we take these 3 cars, they cycle in. So let's say they all cycled in there. Or if there was 1 cube here and 2 cubes here. Oops, wrong copy. And these cars needed to cycle in. And this is the way they were located. So the first one would go to the highest one. Let's just say that one was the highest. It's not. Say that one's the highest one. So this car would go here. This car comes back. It goes to the highest one that it can pick something up at. There. This one would go to the highest one it could pick something up at. Well, actually, they could all go here. There is a cube to pick up. So they would all go here. Okay. And then these cycle up in order. And then that's it. Then we go to the next round. And then that car doesn't come back out till we do Q jam again. And then the Q cars come back, and then the jam cars go to the queue. So that's how they'll cycle. I might need to make these smaller so you get jammed all the time by sending cars there. The more cars go over there, the more jammed it is. Probably. So that is how I fixed movement. Where before you were looking over here, okay, the driver of these things, if the driver mattered, then we need to put a meeple. Let me see if I have a meeple in objects. That's the wrong place. Objects. Saved objects. I've got her. Do I got a meeple? Maybe I got a meeple. Nope, doesn't work right. Let me try this one. Nope. Delete. Let's close that and close that. Close that. Maybe that'll work now. Yeah, it works now. Okay, so let's change the color of the meeple. Apply. Great. This would be a reason to use meeples. Always looking for a reason to use meeples. So this vehicle has a driver. So this driver counts towards majorities. This car doesn't have a driver. We just show that the deal's on here. Let's see how I'm going to do that. That's interesting. So I guess we'd have to have a gray driver. Let's give him a gray driver. Apply. Got some gray driver. Okay, so now the question, I have to figure out, am I going to have two pieces? One on the charter, or just not score the charter? What we could have is I did another game where I did this majority thing. I could have, let's say, the red company is owned by a player. It's owned by the player, or it counts for the player who has the most pieces in it. So if it has mostly gold cubes, we're going to change this dude to gold. Cancel. I wonder if I can, after that, go over here and how can I save that color? Try to copy that and see if that'll work. Delete, apply. Cool. All right, so each vehicle could be Hopefully maroon is still saved. Apply. Okay, this vehicle could count as one of these colors. We'll have a space out here which will show, you know, this company belongs to so and so. Yeah, what I'll do a charter and I'll have a section that says how much control at a glance. We'll just assess how much control each meeple has, so that when a truck is over here and it has a majority, we know that that red truck, those two count as blah blah blah. Let me build that real quick because I have a few moments. Maybe I'll build that. Just be a whole lot easier if I had the mental capacity to save as I'm creating. It's hard enough for me to talk while I'm trying to make stuff. I'm trying to say stuff out loud that normally I would just think and make changes. Where is it at? Someplace here I have the new player boards. I know it's annoying. It makes for very compelling streaming. Here we go. So let's say we take this one. We make another section. Over here. We'll paint that the correct color. Maybe not make it so big. Let's make them ovals. We'll just have 3 places. Goes first. Second. Third. Just have this thing here, and then we'll do an 8 for infinite. Okay. Let's see what this is gonna look like. We'll change this to 1 or 11. Doesn't really matter to me. Only when I'm trying to look for stuff and doing compelling streaming. Where is the SATA? 11 uploaded. Then we go hell. here. And we go hell. Oops, wrong one. Hell. We go hell. We're looking for that new charter. There is. That's one. It's at the very bottom. That'd be cool. Is it that one? No, that's charter one. There it is. Download that son of a bitch. Unlock this one. Wrong thing. That's not the right one. Duh, because I hadn't put it. Upload, import, cancel. Cool. Okay, so we could have. We don't need meeples for that. Could do cubes. Lock it down. So let's say there. Oops. Lock it down. So let's say there's red, 2 gold, and a green. A green cube. I'll need to make that into a green cube. So let's say that's what the thing goes like that. At some point, whenever we add a cube, we'll always reassess. When we assess, we'll have cubes here. I guess since they're cubes, we could turn these circles into cubes. First place in this case is gold. Second place would be both of these, but since they tie, they rank down. So both of these are third place. So these pieces count as gold. When we're talking about majorities, these are 2 gold pieces. You look over there, say what kind of pieces are these gold when you score it. Done. Nice. I like it. I fixed the Q thing. I really dig that. I have a lot of work to do and a lot of thinking. I probably can't do it all streaming, so I'm probably gonna get off for a little while and start making pieces and work on this game. I'm gonna change these back to cubes because I think I don't need meeples. I came up with a really interesting idea to automate this system. And that would be like if you had a meeple, let's put this dude as a laying down, meeple laying down, cube comes on him, he would automatically pick it up. But then it starts getting confusing. So let's play the game as is with the new queue and jam part and then fix the trucks. Now I can remove just pickup pieces, but what I can do now is put the types of goods here that they can pick up. So yeah, interesting. Huh. Cool. Well, I guess I am going to turn this damn thing off and think. I had so many ideas. But like anything, when you've got ideas and you're actually looking at like the other idea, like I said, would have to. Let me go through the motions of that real quick, because maybe that's still a good idea. I don't know. This would have been interesting to have automatic stuff. The cube, I guess, to go from here to here would be a load. If a truck comes, then it would automatically pick it up. The first truck there would automatically choose to pick it up. Or it had to automatically pick it up. That's interesting. But the problem is on the load card, it couldn't be color coordinated. I mean color coded, because if it's color coded, that means the player would need one of these there to load it. So I could make these multicolor, or just say the gray ones can be loaded by any color car, and then whenever you put blue, then that just means blue can load it. That's interesting. That means blue cards are the only ones that'll load this thing. So the load takes it from, if there's a car here, let's say there's vehicles here. So right now the load it works on the power of the truck. If I've got a purple load, I'm playing it with a truck in a location and loading in that location. If I did it the other way, where load works on the color of these, any color load would work to the purple truck. Do I like that? Let me think thematically. I've got a crew on here. Oh, they would usually use their own crew. So, yeah, it doesn't really work. Theme-wise, I think it's better to have the load work with the truck. So you have these trucks that need both load and move. It's interesting having the truck as the pivot point. Well, the truck goes here. So let me just see how that feels. Right now we go here. Play the load card, so we would do move, and then load, and then score here if we had another move card. So that takes 3 actions to do. Because we go from, the problem is expand puts the car out here. Maybe expand shouldn't put the car out there. You expand, the car is ready to go. So let me see how that would work. So I go expand. I get this car and we put it in the play. I get the car and I put cubes on it, and that shows that the car is ready to go. The only cars that are ready to move are cars with cubes. Then when I go to move, I've got a 1 move card. I can move this car straight into the queue. Nothing happens. If I move it into a block, then when I move from the block to the queue, then we're talking about where it comes from. Could I go straight from, okay. So when a car goes to the queue, we look to see if it's loaded. If it's loaded, for every load that it gets, it pays the player out. For every empty space it has, it will give. From here, the car automatically goes into the spot. Or, when these cars are made, okay. when these cars are made, they're at the yard. From the yard, you can move it to the queue, the jam, or a block. If you move it to a block, put it there, and then when the car moves from here to the queue, if it's loaded, it pays it out right automatically. If it moves to the queue and doesn't have a load, that player who moved it gets a cube. It's all about turn order. And you can get totally screwed. We assess these to see who is first player, and whoever is that player, they will take majorities in a place. So we assess for majorities. We assess who owns the charter and who owns the contract, and is there any player pieces on the deal. When there's a player piece on the deal, it counts as 1, or maybe it'll count as 2. We'll see. Because if that's the hardest thing to do, we'll see how hard it is, or what it is, or maybe, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think I've simplified it because of that movement thing, and now you can see the pieces. When you make a car, it becomes available over there. Yeah, I think I like it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop right there because I'm pretty much just rambling and thinking. I don't know if this particular stream had any value, but it is what I did, what I do's. Alright, so how do you turn this damn thing off?